I'm Matt.
I'm Shane, and you are about to listen to an excerpt from a Comic Movie Marks podcast.
So if you like what you hear, make sure you hit that like button real hard, and make sure you subscribe to Comic Movie Marks. And always remember,
if Trailer Trash can do it,
anyone can do it. Woo! We're here to celebrate Star Wars. Sort of.
Yeah, episode 8.
We got our guest from New York, BattleBob. Good guy. Check him out.
Yes, returns for another Star Wars review. The last one that he came on was for Rogue One. The last Star Wars one was Rogue One for last year. So here we are, December the following year.
I actually totally forgot about that, man. It's pretty awesome. Part of the little Star Wars trilogy.
Now that I remember Rogue One, we actually, we may have to ask you what your theater experience was, because that Rogue One theater experience was funny as hell, because you got a large seltzer water or something.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
No, this time around it was a normal theater experience, luckily. So no exciting soft drink stories this time, unfortunately.
I'm sure he used his movie pass.
That I did. I don't know if you guys have heard of Movie Pass. I highly recommend it. $10 a month, you get to see unlimited movies. It's pretty incredible. I thought it was a scam when I first heard about it, but it's not. So, and I don't work for them, so there's no ulterior motives here. It's just something I highly recommend.
Yeah, that's what I guess.
I wonder if they have that available in Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont. That's where we're at.
Yes, we're in Vermont.
But Bob was just trying to sell me on this shit just out of nowhere.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
Just started messaging me. He's like, "You have Movie Pass? You should really get Movie Pass." And so it just ended this endless cycle of like messages back and forth, like of how you would promote Movie Pass. Like, get it as a friend, but you know what? You're such a great person. You should really get it for yourself too. You deserve Movie Pass, because like we were just cycling through a bunch of stupid.
That's
shit
awesome.
In our message system about Movie Pass. So anyway, we're gonna give our non-spoiler review first. This movie is gonna be a little difficult, because, we actually get complimented that our non-spoilers are actually non-spoiler. Like, they don't really talk about anything in the movie that could spoil it. And a lot of people somewhat appreciate that it's a view and an outlook. This movie's a little difficult to do it on because of a tone that it has and the way it structures the movie in general. But we will definitely do our best to do a non-spoiler review. So we'll have our guest go first, and we'll hear how he sounds doing this.
Good luck.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is a difficult movie to do a non-spoiler review about, but I'll give it a shot. It's funny. I'll say I'm actually really excited for this podcast because, to be honest, I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about the movie. Like, I went into the movie admittedly wanting to hate it, I think because I was really turned off with The Force Awakens, mainly due to it just felt like a sort of like a beat for beat remake of the first Star Wars, episode 4. So I came into this movie like wanting to hate it on some way. Like, I came into this movie like this movie had to win me over. I didn't come in like wanting to love it. And the first half of the movie was starting to play into those concerns. And so I found myself like arms crossed in the theater, like not loving it. But then all of a sudden something clicked, and I just found myself like really into the movie and starting to like really enjoy it. And I left the theater kind of conflicted. So it's definitely, I mean, this is pretty well known now. It's a pretty divisive Star Wars, and I totally understand why, because I'm currently undecided on how I feel about it. So I think this is a great addition to the trilogy, to the series ultimately. I think because it is so divisive, I think that's exciting.
Yeah, definitely, because I swear that's pretty much not a unanimous thing, but that is a general consensus that this is a very conflicting movie, and I am very conflicted. I've seen it actually twice, and the first time I went out on it, I was just really conflicted. I was a little underwhelmed at first, and I'm thinking about all the different things, and I'm like, man, this is just, it's conflicting, because there's some things to it. There's always this idea by Disney movies in general, mainly about the Marvel movies, but Disney has a formula, and even when it comes to like Pixar stuff, there's usually a formula to their movies, and I felt like in some sense this movie went away from their formula, and that was one of the things. And I was like, this is what everybody, well, not everybody, but this is what a lot of people have been wanting to see, was Disney actually go out there and try something a little different. And this is the one time, not the one time, but I was about to say it again, this is one time, but this is the time where Disney actually went out, and I think they overreached a little bit. They tried something different with this movie. And now it's divisive, and I thought that was hilarious. It wasn't appreciated. It wasn't like, oh yes, there we go. See, it didn't have a bunch of people going like, see, there's Disney going again. They're going against what everybody says they're going to do. They're not formulaic. But no, it's just divisive. There's a petition now to eliminate the Last Jedi from canon, because there's a petition for everything. I was actually just brought up recently that there's a petition to get In-N-Out Burger to have veggie burgers. So that's a West Coast
petition for everything.
Yeah. There's definitely a petition for everything. So it's complicated, and it's interesting, and it really makes you think. And that's one thing that I can say about a Disney movie or like a Marvel movie that hasn't happened. It made me think. Yeah. It actually made me think about the movie, and I'm still thinking about it. And that means it's sitting with you. And I will say, and I'm not trying to take on Marvel on this, I really am not, and other Disney movies, but I'm like, this movie's sitting with me, and like a lot of Marvel movies don't. They don't. And this one does. And I'm like, fuck. It's, again, like Bob said, conflicting.
Yeah, you made the Marvel comparison. I'll make the Man of Steel one, and then all we need to bring in is the Terminator one, and then boom, we've checked everything off. So my Man of Steel comparison is when I first walked out of Man of Steel, I was kind of like, okay, that was different. I'm not saying this is eventually going to live up to what Man of Steel means to me. However, that's kind of how I left the movie. There are parts, I will agree with you, this is definitely Disney going out on a limb, trying something different. However, I feel that Rogue One was that and kind of accomplished it in a pretty solid way.
The problem with Rogue One is that it was proven that Disney stepped in and eliminated the director's original view on things. And so Rogue One started some of this, but I felt like this was actually the director's vision, which is different from Disney.
Yeah, I feel like that there are moments.
Because Gareth Edwards got cut from
right,
Rogue One,
yeah,
and they changed his whole ending.
Right. There are moments in this that I felt there was some eye rolling humor for me that it felt like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And so I was like, again, not to bash on Marvel, but that's where you get like the Disney formula. However, I will agree that this is branching out and it is trying something different, which I can definitely appreciate. I feel like this is going to be one of those movies you're going to have to watch a couple times to really understand and the direction that they want to go to be able to make your opinion. It's funny, you said you've seen it twice and you're still kind of like, I don't know. So I can appreciate, as Matt said, this is a different film for good or for bad. So go into it with an open mind. You're gonna see the characters, obviously, that have been well established. They elaborate a little bit more on some Force Awakens stuff. Some groundwork that was set in that movie, and there's a lot of good solid action in this. I give them applause for that. Some great action scenes. And yeah, overall, it's different. That's all I can say for non-spoiler for the most part. Is it's different. Expect that when you go in, and maybe you'll walk out with with a positive or negative view on it.
That's definitely a positive thing that you can, I think, almost unanimously could say that this is a beautiful movie.
Yeah,
it is easily one of the most visually appealing movies I've seen. The score I thought was awesome as well.
Yeah.
I thought it meshed really well. The characters, I think this did a really good job of making multiple characters, not just one or two, really stand out. I really like the evolution of Kylo Ren in this. I really like Kylo Ren after this. Now, there's a point in the movie, and like, fuck, I felt everything that he was trying to do, and I was like, this is awesome. This dude has gone way beyond a Darth Vader ripoff, and he's become his own character now. And I thought that was fucking awesome. I really, really liked the Kylo Ren character by the end of this movie. Anything else to add, Bob?
No, I mean, really, like the non-spoiler section is incredibly difficult. So like, I'm just I don't want to say anything to ruin the movie for anybody. So I'm just being really
quiet
for the moment.
So yeah, that's going to kind of conclude our non-spoiler. I think, again, divisive film.
Mm-hmm.
You might come out a little conflicted. You may or may not get the answers you want for certain questions that you've had about the franchise so far. But visually, movie is fantastic. I think some certain characters really stand out and are really enjoyable. Score is fantastic. Maybe a tad bit long. I know the second time I watched it, I was a little like, I don't know. It may have been the fact that Shane was yawning like about 300 times next to me.
Oh man, yeah, there were points I felt full of energy. I'm definitely addicted to caffeine, but I had no problems in this movie. Like going into it, feeling like, oh man, I'm gonna be tired for this. We saw it at what 7:30. Yeah. 7:30 was the showing time, so that's not that big of a deal. And there were moments in this movie where I was like, I'm feeling. There's a lull. It feels 2.5 hours at some.
And we got those leather reclining chairs and shit like that.
That might have been the problem.
Yeah, because there was one point where I had my arms crossed and I was just warm and toasty, and I'm like, So I don't know if that really has to say much about the movie or our chairs.
Yes.
So, congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. You're one of very few to make it to the end.
Yes, thank you very much.
Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Comic Movie Marks Podcast and hit the notification bell. All these fucking YouTube channels say this shit, so I'm going to say it now.
Yes, it's perfect. And if you want to hear our full podcast, you can check out our podcast on iTunes or any other podcast subscription service.
Make sure you subscribe. Thanks again.